Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a save and load system in Unity. It'll work with 2D and 3D and any other environments you want to work with. In this video you can see that I have a 2D player controller moving around. It can run, it can walk, and it has collision. That's about it. Let's dive straight into it. The first thing we're going to be doing is opening up our player controller script. In this script, the player is able to move up, down, left and right using any of the arrow keys as well as WASD. As well as this, the sprite flips to the correct position depending on the input. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to declare a namespace. The namespace we're going to be declaring is system.io. System.io is a namespace used for Unity to handle various different file operations and tasks. We're also going to create a new string called save path. This path is going to be where our save file is stored. Make sure the save path is equal to path.combine application.persistent data path, as well as the name you want to name your file. For me, my name is going to be player_position.json. This whole line of code right here is basically telling Unity to get the save path on our OS, which means this works on any operating system supported by Unity. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our own class. To do that, we're going to have to use system.serializable. We're going to be doing class player data and the data we want to save. For this tutorial, it's just going to be the position. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create some save and load functions. All of the code for our save and load system will be going into these. The next thing we're going to be doing is getting and setting the save data. This means we need to get the player position and store it into our new save data. To do this, we're going to do player data is equal to new player data. And then we're going to get that data and get the position of it and make it our player position. What this is saying is we're going to create a new data structure, the one we just created down below, that stores all of our player data, and we're going to get the position of that data and make it our player position. The next thing we're going to do is get our player position converted into Json. To do this, we're going to create a new string called Json, and we're going to equal it to the Json utility .toJson. And make sure to pass in your data and true. This whole line of code is simply transforming our player data into a JSON formatted string. And passing in true makes the text look nicer on the eyes. The next thing we're going to be doing is writing our JSON formatted data string to our file path that we chose. To do that, write file.writeAllText, then pass through our save path and the data we are saving. All this piece of code does is it gets the save path and the written data and saves the written data to the save path. The next thing I'm going to do is write a debug line so I can know that everything works correctly in Unity. The next thing we're going to be doing is our load method. In the load method, the first thing we're doing is checking if the data file exists. So the first thing we're doing is writing an if statement and putting file.exists and passing through our save path. This whole line of code simply just checks if the save path is a valid path. The next thing we're going to be doing is reading all the text in our saved JSON file. To do that, create a new string called JSON and equal it to file.readAllText and pass through our save path. The next thing we're going to be doing is getting the string we just got and converting it into actual readable data. Write player data is equal to JSON utility dot from JSON, then pass through our player data, then pass through our JSON string. Then transform .position is equal to data.position. All this line of code is doing is creating a new player data class and transforming the JSON string into the player data class. Then it gets the position from the data, and from the data it sets the player position to the loaded position. Next, I'm just going to copy and paste our debug line just so I know everything is working well in Unity. Also write an else statement and also paste a debug line. This case is when there is no data to be read. Next, in the update statement, I'm just going to save and load using the P and O keys. So write if input.getKeyDown keycode.p, then we save. Then for the load statement, write if input.getKeyDown keycode.o, then we load the save. And that's it. Jumping back into Unity, if we press play, then you'll be able to see that if we walk around and press P, it says we saved our data at the given location. And then if we press O, we then load the data and reset the player position to that saved data. Anyways, thanks for watching my Unity tutorial on how to save and load. I should have new tutorials out soon, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Ciao.